sa bank deposits mo na pwedeng gamitin as
Kahit
evidence.
before the passage of the AMLA.
Yeah, that's what
Pwedeng
they
buksan
would
itong
like.
account
Yeah,
na ito. Yan ang sinasabi nila.
Pwedeng
Okay. Yan yung nakapaloob yata sa
masses.
sulat na ibinigay nung ano, no?
oho.
Okay.
Especially on mutual assistance, ano.
Okay.
Kasi yung may mga foreigners na nagde-deposit sa atin, pag hiningin nilang tulong,
Okay.
they can go back to the deposit even before the passage of the anti-money laundering.
Okay, we'll just do a whip around and then we'll get back to you para lahat po makapagsalita. Tutukan naman natin si Ginoong Luis. You were quoted very recently, sabi niyo ho, the country cannot afford the cost of these financial sanctions. How do you perceive it from your perspective?
Well, we are saying that at the state of the economy, a sanction that will impose even just simple delays will be very difficult for our exporters, for one. Considering that in the year 2001, we went down by about 15%. We recovered somehow in 2002, and we posted a 9% growth and ended up with a total export of $34 billion. Our exporters are basically getting loans, which we call pre-shipment packing credits. And this is exactly what it means. No? You borrow, you buy your raw materials, you produce it, and you pay your workers from these borrowings, and then you ship it. All the expenses advanced to you, hoping that immediately you get paid. If you don't get paid, ibig sabihin nun, you cannot draw again from your bank. No? And considering that after the Asian crisis, most of our businessmen really have no lines, no? So to speak of, any delay that will be caused by this will mean not being able to turn around as fast as you would like to do.
You're talking of additional cost, additional man-hours, you're talking of additional procedural processes. Ganun ang magiging problema nito?
Well, just simple delay because of a process that
New regulations, ganun?
might be imposed, no? And you know, if you're delayed by 1 month, that means you have to stop for 1 month, no? The effect of this is not only the loss of export of 1 month. Can you imagine a loss of 1 month?
Yes.
For exporters in a period of 1 year? That's 112, no? That's 112, and it won't be easy to.
Lalo na kung perishable items pa.
Well, it won't be easy to recover the market because you will end up your buyers not trusting you. And there are other implications. Like for instance, I have a friend, even without the sanction, just the simple AMLA exercise as in the past, no? Humiram sa Germany ng pera, and nung time na itinransfer sa isang bangko para i-remit sa kanila, hiningan sila ng katakot-takot na papeles like corporation, pinadala nila. Pagdating doon, hiningan sila ng explanation, ano yung project, ano yung gagawin, no? Ano hinihiram na pera, padala na naman sila. It took 30 days and more than that until they finally receive. In the meanwhile, they're already paying interest.
To make it very simple, sir, what you're saying is that this will be additional red tape para lang maintindihan ng ating mga manonood. Parang ganon.
Red tape is a mild word for it.
Yes.
If
Okay.
there is a sanction imposed.
Okay, before we pause for a gap, I'd like to ask you this question. Assuming the worst scenario, and we are unable to pass a new AMLA law, have you taken serious steps to be able to cushion whatever impact may ever happen? Sa pagbabalik po natin. Okay, we're still talking about the Money Laundering Act, controversial as it is, and we'd like to Also tell our audience that you can call us at 927-0117 and 927-0049. As soon as you call, we will ask your questions. We will give priority to your questions. We would like to also acknowledge our brother facility, the Radyo ng Bayan, all over the country. Maraming salamat. Okay, back to Mr. Luis. Doon po sa katanungan ko, have we come up with the worst scenario in order just to be able to come up with certain steps in order to be able to confront the possibilities, the dire possibilities that the worst could ever happen?
It's very difficult because all of this will be speculative because we don't know what kind of sanction will be imposed. We can only possibly expect something like what they imposed to Nauru or Ukraine. And based on that, the softest things that we consider is delay of something like anywhere from 60 to 120 days.
That's the softest.
That is softest,
the mildest, so to
mildest
speak.
that we can find. How do you prepare for that? Only perhaps trying to find ways how our local banks can react and help exporters in those instances. But the fact is, even our banks might be blacklisted, like what happened with Nauru. Only the Central Bank of Nauru can transact. Nobody can transact with the other banks. And it might end up being worse than when we declared moratorium in the 80s, when we cannot even open LCs, we cannot even, no banks will even accept our remittances or our
Ginoong Luis, binanggit niyo yung mildest. What is the worst?
It's difficult to speculate. The worst can really bring down our economy.
In terms of experiential, other countries that have been sanctioned, what was the worst that they experienced?
I think the worst is immediately they changed the laws because the sanction hardly were imposed in a year. I think just few weeks or few months.
There are some
immediately they complied.
There are some voices who say that if ever the sanctions are imposed, we can expect no dollar remittances for probably 2 weeks. Depending upon the time, but walang perang dolyar papasok sa bansa for an appreciable point of time. Is that possible?
That's very possible, and you know, magsara lang ang mga bangko dito ng isa-dalawang araw, you can already see what the havoc can be. Yung pang walang dumating sa ating remittances for 2 weeks, can you imagine 2 weeks?
Okay, ito naman tunghayan naman natin si Engineer Ramirez. Wala pang mga sanctions. Sinasabi ng organisasyon, wala pa raw sanctions. Pero nararamdaman nyo na ba na parang may sanctions na rin?
Sa ngayon, actually, sa gana ng mga seafarers, wala pa kaming nararamdaman sapagkat wala pang sanction na na-impose. Ngunit sinasabi ng ibang mga senators na hindi naman daw nagre-remit ang OFW ng $300, more than $300. Mali po yung perception na yun sapagkat nagre-remit ang mga seaman by bulk. Halimbawa, sa isang barko, mayroong 20 ka Pilipino, 15 ka Pilipino. That means $20,000 or $15,000.
In bulk.
In bulk. And then, kung ang isang ship owner, mayroong 60 ka barko rito, that would mean something like 1.2 million.
Okay.
So, kung halimbawa, madelay yan ngayon, at isa-isahin itong lahat ng mga individual transactions, itong mga pangalan ito, dahil kailangan pa nila ng passport, kailangan pa yung payslip nila, additional identification.
Added cost pa.
Added cost. Then the bank
Processing.
also, because the bank will hire more employees, and it will entail more expenses, and it would cause delay.
Okay.
Ngayon, kung madidelay yan, say for 1 month, hindi naman namin pwedeng sabihin sa pamilya namin na huwag muna kayong kumain ng 1 buwan, o huwag muna tayong magbayad ng electricity ng 1 buwan, or huwag muna tayong magbayad sa tubig natin sa loob ng 1 buwan kasi nadidelay yung allotment natin.
Okay.
But the issue, the main issue today is, I
So
believe...
wala pa kayong nararamdaman? Is that what you're saying?
Wala pa.
Okay,
Wala pa sa ngayon. Wala pa kasing in-impose talaga na sanction ang FATF.
Okay. May question ako dyan, pero I'll give way to a phone-in call, no? Galing kay Lina Mendoza ng Novaliches, San Bartolome. Ang husband niya ay nasa Saudi. Ano ang magiging epekto nito sa mga remittances ng OFW pag di naipasa?
Ang kagaya